welcome back to another episode of Beer, Bacon, and Bros. We got the full cast tonight. We got Adam, Alex, Chris, and of course Keith. We're going to jump into kind of the hot take right now. The over-under on Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Are they dating? And if they are, how long have they been dating? And if they will break up, when they are going to break up. But before we jump into that, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It's totally free for you. For all of those of you who are already subscribed, thank you for coming back for another video. And also make sure to drop some comments on the videos and some likes. The comments, we'll get back to you. And the likes just help the videos get out there for more people to see.
The over-under of 4.5 months, Chris said if you take the under, which it would mean they break up 5 days before the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think this is a relationship that works.
Hey, I'm going to take the over
because
here.
I think he's down to earth enough from where him and Jason have come from.
He's
doing his own podcast. He's not a little British crybaby.
He's also older.
He is older. He has his own life, and all the other guys have too. But there's just something about him to where I think he is more.
They've also been mainstream.
NFL players just seem more real.
Yeah.
Than all these other guys that she's dating, like John Mayer and all. John Mayer's so massive. That dude, he doesn't know what down to earth is anymore. Harry Styles, same way.
No,
Travis.
The main difference here between Travis and several of her other exes are he's American, they're British.
Well, not only that, but he's also famous in a sports world where everybody else is mainstream media.
Yeah,
so it's a much bigger spectrum. So now you're in like a niche to where yes, football is obviously the most popular sport in America.
And I think what's going to be a big difference is outside of football. Travis isn't doing much other than the podcast with his brother, which is now the leading podcast
it's one of the best
out there.
podcasts out there, right?
So in that sense of outside of football season, I mean he can do what he wants to, he's a normal rich guy, but he's gonna be able to hang out with her and go and follow her around. Whereas other relationships, they had their own tours, their own stuff, PR stunts. They had to go through all these extra shit because they are mainstream media popularity. Which entitles them it brings them into having to do all that extra bullshit that Travis isn't going to have to do. He can focus on doing the sweet and loving things where he got that classic car to drive her out of the stadium and out of Kansas City to go do whatever, put her in the booth with his mom, which that brings up my next talking point. This was not a first date.
Absolutely not.
Because the way she was invested in the game and being with mom, that is not, who does that for first date?
I want to hit on one thing before we jump to that, because I think you make a good point. The timeline around this is very, very dangerous because if they do break up, the date that they got it set on is February 6th. That's 5 days before the Super Bowl on February 11th.
People do that because they know Taylor is toxic when it comes to relationships.
That's what I'm saying.
So they're is she going to wreck the Kansas City Chiefs?
Just so Philly can win the Super Bowl.
So his brother can win the Super Bowl.
So I can cash it on a bet.
Or San Fran.
She wants another song.
Yeah.
She wants a new album to drop.
A track for every starter on the offense.
Yeah. Wow. I will say this. I do think that there's a good point to be made that when the off season comes around, Travis can go wherever, right? She's gonna be, in Europe. Yeah. So she's got a month off or something. Sid told me this last night. She's got a month off. Then she's finishing. She does. And she's finishing the rest in the USA before the end of the year. Then the beginning of next year, she's in Europe for 8 months. Yeah. So they, he's going to be that. They're not going to overlap a whole lot, right? She's still going to be touring, and he's going to be playing football. But if they make it past the February 6th, they make it past the Super Bowl. He gets into the off season. I think they're in the races. They're in the
which I think they will, just because the pure fact of both of them are going to be busy enough. And in separate cities enough that nothing catastrophic should happen between here and February.
You would think so.
Unless they just hey, nothing's drawn us closer, let's just go ahead and...
That was my point.
All right, our talking phase never just brought us together, so let's go ahead and split ways.
Yeah, split ways. So,
but I think they're already past that because the way she was too invested in things in the game. The chest bumping, pounding the window, screaming, let's fucking go. That is not a first date.
No, absolutely not.
Mannerisms and vibes.
Or just being with the mom in general.
Yes.
Who hangs out with their significant mom on
you telling me you wouldn't hang out with Donna Kelce?
Well, I mean, but still.
I would, but now if it was like my first time dating her son,
Right.
it'd especially be awkward because we're two guys, and we have to like explain to her that he is
If
now
you-
with a dude, and so I mean that'd be a
If
lot
you-
to have. I don't want to have that conversation with Donald without Travis there to help me.
I'm pretty sure
Or
whichever
Jason to help you.
Yeah, or
whichever,
Jason.
whichever Kelce brother you're dating, you're not the man in that relationship. I think Don is going to understand.
Hey,
Donald's wearing the
I would
pants.
gladly be submissive for Jason. That's a hunk of a man there.
I mean, Travis is like 6'5", 245 too. That,
Alex said he's gonna give Travis one for his money.
yeah. So
But I think this is going to end up coming out that they've been talking for longer than we think.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
and
agree with you.
I think it's going to go over. It's going to go past the Super Bowl.
Well, there was already like rumors that were
Like 3
swirling
weeks
around
ago.
Anyway. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was already rumors swirling around.
Yeah.
Which those
And
will just
this-
start for no reason.
Right, and this
Where
past-
there's
Especially when they're so far disconnected.
right, and this past Sunday just brought it all into the
Yeah.
into the
Like
mainstream.
Chris about to say, where there's
There's
smoke, there's fire.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
I got over
I'm taking over.
on the 4.5.
I'm gonna hope it's over because I don't want my wife to get super disappointed in 4.5 months in February. So let's take the over.
That
I
brings
don't,
up a
I
good
don't want
point,
you to drop
though.
$150 on a jersey just to turn around and have to give it away to
Oh,
somebody.
DH game. DH game.
This
won't
brings
know
up
it.
a good
That brings up a new debit card.
I got a small Visa card with a little limit. I'll get a new one of
It
those.
brings up a great point of just
I get a new debit card.
why do we care so much? Like I understand we care about football players and stuff like that, but it's just I cannot grasp the concept of Taylor Swift is walking around like she's the #1 person on the planet.
Have you have a Taylor Swift woman as well? Sydney is extremely excited about Travis Kelce. Like she thinks
I would
this
say
is the
Danielle.
best guy. that
I
she-
would say Danielle is too.
Which
that
is an in
she's-
for you.
Well, I think if we had to poll the Swifties right now, I think they would be 75% or better
That this is
excited about this is a good relationship for
I
Taylor.
would agree with that.
Like that's why I
3
think
weeks
the
in,
Swifties-
yeah, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, true.
3
That's
months
why
down
I
the
think
road.
the Swifties care that much. I'll tell you right now though, if they break up, I cannot wait for her to roast the Mahomes, Brittany, Jackson, whichever
That's
one.
the only good thing about this is
Brittany-
she is burying
the
Brittany and
Mahomes.
Jackson. Most people forgot that they even existed already.
Yes.
And those two toxic people just need to be buried under the Swifties' toxicity. And just can we just forget about all of
Cap
them?
them off.
Just-
Just
It's a
get rid
lot.
of, just get rid of Brittany.
It's a whole lake of toxicity, but we'll
Well,
take it.
Jackson Mahomes did a good thing by shooting himself in the foot by his own allegations because he just happened to be a shitbag and it happened to come out.
Well, he also got hit with those charges about hitting on like a minor.
That's what I'm talking about, the shitbag charges that he got. And then Brittany Mahomes, everybody was just like, God, she's
He
just
wandered
toxic.
Franco that thing.
Ooh.
Not
You
that
should
bad.
you should look
Not
up
that bad.
You should look up the video where she's trying to guess Patrick Mahomes' like favorite foods and stuff, and she just says all of these stereotypical
That's
African American
racist.
dishes. Watermelon, like just racist.
Fried
as that.
chicken,
watermelon,
watermelon.
fried chicken. Like she just went down
Red Kool-Aid.
down the list of racist
Freaking
shit to
racist.
say when trying to guess an African American's
Yeah,
favorite
wouldn't
food.
he say?
Like, oh my God.
He said spaghetti or something.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. Like it was Italian food or some shit. And she was like fried chicken. He was like spaghetti. And I gave her a look of like, where the fuck did fried chicken come from?
Woo!
So that's the only good thing that Taylor Swift is bringing is everybody's like, Brittany Mahomes who? What's her name?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta love it.
Yeah,
You gotta love it. So, all right, hit us in the comments. Let us know if you think they're making it over the 4.5 mark or not. As always, we appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe.